Constitution, ang president ay si Jose P. Laurel. At si Manuel Rojas, siya ang leader ng Preparatory Committee. Si Benigno Aquino Sr. ang member of the Preparatory Committee. So yung 1943 Constitution ay sponsor ng Japanese Second Republic of the Philippines taong 1943 hanggang 1945. It was recognized as legitimate and binding only in Japanese-controlled areas of the Philippines, but was ignored by the United States government and the Philippine Commonwealth government in exile. On June 16, 1943, Premier Heidi K. Tuho promised independence to the Philippines. The Kalibapi would them from the Preparatory Committee on Philippine Independence, or PCPI, composed of 20 delegates, which was tasked with drafting a new constitution. The Japanese monitored the drafting of the constitution and instructed the members of PCPI, led by Jose P. Laurel, that the constitution should conform with the principles of the Greater East Asia Prosperity Sphere. The new constitution was approved by the Preparatory Committee on Philippine Independence on September 4, 1943. The new constitution was ratified by the Kalibapi on September 7, 1943.
October 14, 1943, in ceremonies in front of the Legislative Building in Manila, the new republic was inaugurated, and Jose P. Laurel, the chairman of the Preparatory Committee, assumed office as president. So, in this picture, kung mapapansin nyo, it is the president of the Second Republic, which is Jose P. Laurel, and his real name is Jose Pasiano Laurel E. Garcia. So, next natin na pag-aralan is yung the 1987 Philippine Constitution. So, ano ba yung mga napapaloob dito sa Constitution na to? The 1987 Philippine Constitution was dropped by a Constitutional Assembly that was mandated in Proclamation Number 3. Yung Proclamation Number 3, it is declaring a national policy to implement the reforms mandated by the people, adopting a provisional constitution and related matters. So, under nito is yung mga former members of the House of the Representatives, former Justice of the Supreme Court, a Roman Catholic bishop, and the political activists against the Marcos regime. So, sa picture, it is Cecilia Muñoz Palma. She is the first woman appointed to the Supreme Court of the Philippines, and she was appointed to the Supreme Court by the President Ferdinand Marcos on October 29, 1973. Final drop is noong October 12, 1986, and it is ratified on February 8, 1987.
Here's our presidents since 1986 to 2022. From 1986 to 1992, ang naging presidente po natin is si Cory Aquino, and yung noong 1992 to 1998 naman is si Fidel Ramos, at napalitan ni Joseph Estrada simula 1998 to 2001. And then napalitan po siya ni Gloria Macapagal Arroyo noong 2001 hanggang 2010. And noong 2010 to 2016, ang naging presidente naman po natin is si Benigno Aquino, at napalitan naman po ni Rodrigo Roa Duterte na nanungkulan simula 2016 hanggang 2022. Now, let's proceed to the preambles of 1987 constitutions. Kapag sinabi po natin preambles, ito yung mga bahagi ng isang dokumento na tulad ng constitutions, batas o resolution na naglalaman ng mga layunin, prinsipyo at mga pangunahing ideya ng mga probisyon. So, sinasabi dito, with the souvenir Filipino peoples, imploring the aid of Almighty God in order to build a just and human society and establish a government that shall embody our ideas and aspirations na nag-promote po sa atin na common good, secure and develops our patrimony and secure to ourselves and our posterity and blessings, independence and democracy under the rules of law and regime of truth, justice, freedom, love, equality, and peace to obtain and promulgate the Constitution. So, sinasabi po dito na siyempre po tayo dito sa atin sa Pilipinas, sa bansa natin Pilipinas, is parang nangingibabaw po yung ating pagiging religyoso. Kaya po, nagkakaroon tayo ng yung bansa natin ay nasa democracy. Besides of 1973, na-ratified po niya yung 1973 Constitutions of the Philippines. So, noong 1970 po, delegates were elected the Constitution Convention, which began to meet in 1971. So, in September 1972 po, nilagdaan ni Ferdinand Marcos yung batas na 1973 Constitutions na kung saan is dineclared or pinapatupad niya po yung martial laws and nakapag-arrest po sila ng 11 members of the convention. Yung convention na po yun is the reconvenient growth a constitutions in line with what Dictator President Ferdinand Marcos want. Noong January 17, 1973 naman po, Marcos issued Proclamation number 1102 certifying and proclaiming the 1973 Constitution has been ratified by the Filipino peoples and there was an effect. So dito po, pinatupad na ni Marcos yung batas na 1973 at nilagdaan niya na nagpapatunay na pumayag na rin po yung mga Pilipino sa Pilipinas. So, dito ay pinapakita niya na parang payag po yung mga Pilipino sa batas na nilagdaan niya po na yung 1973 Constitutions. And these results were challenging by the ratification cases heard by the Philippine Supreme Court in 1973. For this plebiscites, the changes to voting requirements were implemented. So, nagkaroon po sila ng pagboboto sa mga gagawin nilang hakbang. So, the voting ages was reduced from 18 to 15 years old and those who were eliminated as described by the compositions were allowed to vote. So, dito po, di ba, napapansin po natin kapag nagboboto po tayo is 15 to 17 po is nagsa-start na po silang magpa-register para po sila ay makapagboto na sa makakuha na ng boto. Sa Constitutions of 1973, meron po tayong written constitutions tsaka ng objective resolutions. Sa una po sa written constitutions, meron po siyang written document na kung saan isinusulat pa lang po nila. Very comprehensive at consists of 12 parts na po siya. And sa objective resolution, nakapaloob po dito the provisions and principles set out in the objective resolution have been made substantive part of the constitutions with introductory that Islam shall be state religion. So parang dito inaprubahan po ni Marcos na yung Islam is magiging religion na po siya or is magiging kabilang na siya sa mga religion ng ating Pilipinas, ng ating bansang Pilipinas. Now we have form of government na kung saan when we say form of government is ito yung parliamentary forms of government was introduced. Pinapakilala pa lang po ng mga ng ating gobyerno yung form na kanilang ginagawa. And then bicameral legislature. When we say bicameral legislature, so the Bajiles Ichora or tinatawag na Parliament consists of two houses named Senate, 63 members, na kung saan is sa Senate po dapat po daw is meron lang 63 members and National Assembly of 200 nakapaloob ng mayroong 200 members. Meron din pong method of election. So we have the members of the National Assembly the provincial assemblies, and the directly elected by the people. Before the martial law po, ang isa po sa mga main purpose po ng law bago po napatupad yung martial law o yung pinatupad ni President Marcos si President Marcos yung martial law, isa po sa mga purpose niya is to reflect genuine Philippine independence and sovereignty. Ibig sabihin po, nakabatay lang po siya sa pag sinabi po kasi nating sovereignty or independence, sovereignty, syempre po nakaraan nung is parang nakapaloob po siya kung ano po yung paniniwala natin sa relihiyon na nakabase lang po siya doon. Kumbaga, pero po, di ba po nakaraan is mas malakas po yung Katoliko. So, ibig sabihin, nakabase po sila sa mga kung ano po yung nilalaman ng Biblia or yung pinapatupad na meron sa simbahan. And next, main purpose after martial law, pagkatapos or napatupad na po yung martial law, we have to change the present government to parliament form na po siya. And then, to give Marcos more powers and postpone the incoming 1973 elections. And ratification was done through Citizens Assembly. Narito po yung features of 1973 resolutions na kung saan yung tinatawag na parliamentary forms of government. Ito po yung the 1973 Constitution's purposes of the parliamentary forms of government in the country. And Prime Minister and the heads of the parliamentary system, he is the leader of the Majlis Shura or yung tinatawag na parliamentary. He is elected on direct adult franchise basis. So the Prime Minister selects a cabinet of central minister from the members of parliaments which conducts the affairs of the country.
Features of 1973 resolution. Parliamentary form of government. So what is parliamentary? The parliamentary refers to a system of government where the executive branch derives its legitimacy and authority from the legislative and is accountable to it. 1973 Constitution proposes a parliamentary form of government in the country. Prime Minister is the head of the parliamentary system. He is the leader of the Majlis Shura Parliamentary. What is Majlis Shura? It is the official name of the Parliament of Pakistan, as defined in the 1973 Constitution. It serves as the highest legislative body in the country. Elected on direct adult franchise basis, the Prime Minister selects a cabinet of centered ministers from the members of Parliament which conduct the affairs of the country. The Article 1, or the national territory, it defines the boundaries of the Philippines. All the islands and waters within the Philippines archipelago, land, rivers, airspace, and seas where the Philippines has authority. The seabed, underground areas, and waters around and between the islands which are part of its internal water. Article 2, Declaration of Principles and State Policies. It sets the foundation of the country's fundamental values and guiding the government and its citizens. The Article number 3, Citizens, focuses on the Bills of Rights that which the right and freedoms of every citizen, and it protects individuals from abuse by the government and ensures equal treatment for all. The Article number 4, Bill of Rights, guarantees the foundational rights and freedoms of every individual in the country. It protects citizens from abuse and ensures equality under the law. Article number 5, Duties and Obligations of Citizens, the responsibilities that every Filipino citizen must fulfill to contribute to the welfare and development of the nation. The Article number 6, Suffrage, it explains the right to vote and its importance in a democratic society. Suffrage ensures citizens that can participate in choosing their leaders in shaping government policies. Article number 7, the President and Vice President, the qualification, powers, duties, and responsibility of two highest officials of the land. Article number 8, the National Assembly defines the structure, powers, and function of the legislative branch of government. The National Assembly replaced the bicameral Congress of the earlier Constitution and established a unicameral or one-chamber legislative. The Article number 9, the Prime Minister in the Cabinet. The rules, qualifications, and responsibilities of the Prime Minister in the Cabinet. His structure was introduced to shift the government to a parliamentary system, where executive power is shared between the President and the Prime Minister. Article, the Judiciary. It focuses on the judiciary, which is responsible for interpreting laws and ensuring justice in the country. The Supreme Court is the highest court in the Philippines. It's composed of a Chief Justice and other justices appointed by the President from a list provided by the Judicial and Bar Council to be appointed. Justices must be natural-born citizens, at least 40 years old, and have been members of the Philippine Bar for at least 15 years. The judiciary is independent, meaning judge and justice can make decisions based on the law without influence from the executive or legislative branches. The Supreme Court has the power of judicial review, allowing it to declare law or government action unconstitutional. Justices of the Supreme Court and judge of the lower courts are appointed by the Prime Minister. The Constitution retains the independence of the Commission on Election and established two independent constitution at bodies. Number 1 is Civil Service Commission. Number 2, Commission on Audit. Number 3, National Economic Development and Authority. So now, what is Civil Service Commission? The Civil Service Commission is a government agency responsible for overseeing the recruitment, development, and managing of the public servant in the government sector. It helps to establish standards for government employees and ensure that they are treated fairly and equitably. Commission on Audit is a government agency of government entities. Its main role is to ensure that public funds are used efficiently, transparently, and in accordance with the law. This helps to promote accountability and transparency in the use of public resources. The National Economic and Development Authority is the Philippine primary agency responsible for planning and coordinating the country's economic and social development. Preamble, it should that the Filipino people, seeking the guidance of God, are establishing a government based on their ideals. This government aims to promote well-being of everyone, protect and develop the nation's resources, and ensures that future generations will experience the benefits of democracy, justice, peace, liberty, and equality. The preamble expresses the intent to create a fair society for all Filipinos, both now and the future. Article number 11, Local Government. It outlined the organization, powers, and responsibilities of local governments units or the LGU, such as provinces, cities, municipalities, and barangays. Article number 12 is the Constitutional Government. It concerns with ensuring that the government operates under the framework set by the Constitution, upholding the principle of democracy, the rule of law, and the separation of powers. Article number 13, Accountability of Public Officers. It emphasized that public officials and employees are accountable to the people and must exercise their power and duties with responsibility, integrity, loyalty, and efficiency. Article number 14, the national economy and patrimony of the nation. The government responsibility to ensure that sustainable development and protection of the country's resources as well as the management of its economy. Article number 15, General Provision related to the family that focusing on the importance of the family as the basic foundation of society. It should be emphasized the protection of the family, its rights and duties of the state. Article number 16, Amendments. The procedures of amending or revising the Constitution The Constitution can be proposed in three ways: through Congress, via a Constituent Assembly or a Constitutional Convention through a Constitutional Convention elected by the people, or through a People's Initiative, where citizens can propose changes by gathering signatures. Once proposed, any amendment or revision must be approved by the people in a national referendum. For changes made by Congress, they must be approved by 3/4 majority in the vote of House of Representatives and the Article number 16 amendments. The procedure for amending or revising the Constitution can be proposed in three ways. Number 1, through Congress, via a Constituent Assembly or a Constitutional Convention. Number 2 is through a Constitutional Convention elected by the people or through a People's Initiative, where citizens can propose changes by gathering signatures. Once proposed, any amendment or revision must be approved by the people in the national referendum. For changes made by Congress, they must be approved by 3/4 majority in the vote of House of Representatives in the Senate. This article ensures that the process is democratic, that both government and the people to be involved in any constitutional changes. Article number 17, the transitory provision, which serve as temporary measures to facilitate the transition from the old constitution to a new one or to implement significant constitutional changes.